After Mark Shapiro's end of the year press conference, it looks like the Blue Jays are poised to make some big splashes this offseason. Even though the Blue Jays season didn't end the way many fans wanted, leaving them in some kind of sunken place, it looks like there could be some light at the end of this tunnel. In Mark Shapiro's press conference, Ben Nicholson-Smith paraphrases what Shapiro said, saying #Blue Jays don't expect a dramatically different payroll setup from 2024 per Mark Shapiro, suggesting Jays can spend somewhat freely this winter as opportunities emerge. And when I read that, that is very promising from a Blue Jay fan who has been very, very harsh on this team recently. The financial situation could be still competitive this year. Right now, the Blue Jays' projected payroll is about $144 million, and that doesn't include guys like Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Cavan Biggio, Santiago Espinal, Dalton Varsho, who are coming up on their next arbitration years. Those arbitration players could cost around $30 to $35 million. It all depends on the arbitration hearings this winter. And that projected payroll also includes players like Whit Merrifield, who has an $18 million mutual option going into 2024, which the Blue Jays and Whit Merrifield will most likely decline after Whit Merrifield came out and bashed the Blue Jays after the wildcard series. So the projected payroll is looking pretty low right now, with a lot of players coming off the books in 2024, such as Hyun-Jin Ryu's $20 million deal, Matt Chapman's $12.5 million, Belt's $3.9 million, and Kevin Kiermaier's $9 million deal. And there's about $6 to $10 million as well in some other players that are also not returning next year. So if the Blue Jays are looking to spend roughly what they did last year, they've got about $40 to $50 million approximately to bring some free agents into Toronto. And how are they going to spend that money? The Blue Jays have a few possible outcomes on how they're going to delegate that money. Now, one outcome, and we've been talking about it for years, is are the Blue Jays going to offer an extension to Bo Bichette or Vladimir Guerrero Jr. for the future? Now, Mark Shapiro was actually asked about possible Bichette or Guerrero extensions in his press conference, and he replied with, "The priority is just to sustain the opportunity to win." Now, that tells me that they're willing to do whatever it takes with that additional payroll to help improve that offense for not only this year, but possibly the future. And that opens up a huge opportunity for the Blue Jays to make a really big splash this offseason. Because if there is no concrete plan to sign Guerrero or Bichette to a long-term deal, then that opens up the opportunity to sign a long-term deal for another superstar outside of the organization, such as Cody Bellinger. Cody Bellinger had another breakout year, looking like a superstar player from the past. And the Blue Jays have actually reached out to Cody Bellinger last offseason looking for a free agent deal. And a power-hitting lefty with superb defense, with versatility in the infield, sounds like the kind of player that Ross Atkins would go out and get. Now, are the Blue Jays going to be able to pull off a deal like that? Well, that's a completely different video. All I'm saying is that they actually have the ability to be in his market. But most likely, the Blue Jays are probably going to just try and fill out that lineup where there are several holes left by Kevin Kiermaier, Brandon Belt, and Whit Merrifield. Which wouldn't be the sexiest kind of move, because it really did look like the Blue Jays need a superstar in that lineup. Well, if you did spend the money and go down the route of getting a superstar, well, then it wouldn't be a bad idea either to call up people like Orelvis Martinez and Addison Barger and see what they can do in the Blue Jays lineup. We have no idea what's about to happen, but I know that there's one thing for certain. The Blue Jays have the opportunity to make some big moves, and they're going to need to make some big moves right now. But guys, you let me know in the comments down below, what free agents do you want the Blue Jays to go out and get? Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and as always, guys, go Jays go!